Gammarauders is a post-apocalyptic board war game published by TSR, Inc., in which players acted as the human handlers of giant mutant creatures called bioborgs. The game also had a 10-issue comic book series that was published by DC Comics. 3 of these comics also featured a micro-RPG installment that allowed readers to create their own bioborgs and handlers. Despite its normally grim post-apocalypse setting, the game and comic series had a humorous atmosphere. An expansion set called Revenge of the Factoids was also released. It contained new bioborgs, new types of military units, and new types of terrain. Setting: Gammarauders takes place in the distant future during a time period called the Gamma Age. Nuclear war has devastated much of the world, leaving a few pockets of civilization separated by vast expanses of wasteland called the Big Nada. 2 major power groups formed after the war: the Gammarauders and the Slonoids. Among the ranks of the Gammarauders is a man named Professor Wamba, inventor of the Wamba process. This process allows scientists to create bioborgs by mutating animals and implant them with nodes that can be fitted with weapons. The Slonoids kill Wamba and steal his research, allowing them to develop their own bioborgs as well. In addition to mutated animals, another development in the Gamma Age are pods. These plants are the power source for the New Age. Due to their great value and importance, the Gammarauders, Slonoids, and other power groups of the Gamma Age fight over them constantly. Unfortunately, pods are unstable and are prone to bursting into beautiful flowers. The Gamma Age is also home to the factoids, strange creatures that resemble walking television sets. According to game legend, a traveler accidentally activated a machine which started to produce factoids at a rate of 1 every 43 seconds. Since then, factoids wander the world of the Gamma Age collecting data and trying to learn everything they can. However, getting any useful information out of a factoid can be tricky. For example, in one of the comics, a character asks how many units are in the approaching Slonoid army. The factoid replies, "All of them." The factoids also possess information from the Golden Age, which is the time before the Gamma Age. The Slonoids and the Gammarauders are not the only power groups in the Gamma Age. There are also lesser groups called cryptic alliances. 6 of these alliances are detailed in the Game World Booklet and the comic series. The Game World Booklet gave detailed descriptions of the military and fortresses of the alliances. Though from a game mechanics standpoint all units function the same way. The army units include infantry, hover tanks, and gamma jets. These units are referred to as popcorn, because the survivor of a bioborg attack reported the beast ripped through his unit like it was no more than popcorn. The 6 major cryptic alliances include the Crimson Moon, a warrior clan that follows a samurai-like tradition of honor. The infantry dresses in free-flowing robes and carry dart-launching staffs. Elite units carry swords as well. A Crimson Moon hover tank is made of wicker and called the Ghost that walks the mist. They are almost completely silent. Their gamma jets resemble flying men. According to the Game World Book, this design was adopted with hopes that bioborgs would hesitate before attacking. The plan backfired, though, and bioborgs seem to enjoy munching on this type of gamma jet the best. Their fortresses resemble the castles of ancient Japan. The symbol of the Crimson Moon is a samurai helm topped with a crescent moon. Boys. This alliance is modeled after an organized crime gang. Their infantry dresses in pinstripe suits and carries Tommy guns. Their hover tanks resemble flying cars and are called Doozybergs. Their Air Force vehicles resemble the bi-wing planes of World War I. Their fortresses are always made of concrete. It is said many old allies of Boys have found within these walls. No longer alive just within these walls. The symbol of Boys is a Tommy gun. Friends of What's Left of the Earth, or FOWLOTES for short, is a militaristic hippie clan whose slogan is, "Give peace a chance." or wheel nuclei. The current leader has declared metal to be evil, and all FOWLOTE equipment is made of modified organic material. FOWLOTE infantry wears tie-dyed armor and berets. They carry crossbows with bolts tipped with mutated animal bone. Though primitive, these weapons are more powerful than most blasters of the same size. Their hover tanks are made of a mutated wood that is as strong as steel. FOWLOTE gamma jets are solar-powered and resemble great birds. Their fortresses are made of interlocking triangles. The symbol of the FOWLOTEs is the peace sign. The lab rats. The lab rats is a group of scientists. According to the World Book, the lab rats respected Professor Wamba, but felt he fell into a bad crowd with his science for a higher cause attitude. After all, the purpose of science is to create more science. Lab rat infantry wear pants that are several inches too short and oversized lab coats complete with protective lenses, calculators and pens. Despite their comical appearance, few people dare insult a lab rat since they also carry large, nasty-looking bazookas. Lab rat hover tanks are often made of unusual materials like ice preserved by a plastic spray and shatterproof glass. Their gamma jets are essentially hover tanks with wings. How the lab rats get these non-aerodynamic vehicles off the ground is a mystery. The primary weapon of both the hover tank and the gamma jet is a gun that fires ice projectiles. It is said lab rat fortresses look like a high school where a chemistry experiment went horribly wrong. Usually half the fortress is unstable due to failed experiments or recently disproved engineering theories. The symbol of the lab rats is a microscope. The Men in Black, a mysterious organization inspired by a popular government conspiracy. The Men in Black dress in black suits, black hats, and dark sunglasses. Their preferred weapon is a semi-automatic machine gun. Both their gamma jets and hover tanks resemble black discs with white serial numbers painted on the side. The Men in Black change these numbers frequently to confuse opponents. Although their vehicles are maneuverable, their tactics are said to be very predictable. Their fortresses are designed to look like the fortresses of other cryptic alliances, but they always paint the forts black, so it doesn't fool anyone. The symbol of the Men in Black is a wide-brim hat with a pair of sunglasses. The Razors. This alliance is modeled after a motorcycle gang. It is said they dislike the Gammarauders for their sickening abundance of morals, and the Slunoids for their lack of class. They are commanded by an individual known as the leader of the pack. Their infantry ride motorcycles, wear leather jackets, and carry a variety of weapons. Their hover tanks and gamma jets both resemble motorcycles modified to hover or fly. As might be expected, their armor and air force is lightly armored but fast and highly maneuverable. Most of a razor fortress is located below the ground. The only part above ground is the workshop, which is constantly repairing and modifying razor equipment. The Razor's symbol is a dagger with a spiked handguard. Gameplay. The game came with several hexagonal tiles with various types of terrain. This allowed the players to create many different scenarios instead of playing on the same field every time. Each player selected a bioborg. Each bioborg had special ability and a limited number of slots in which to hold weapons and shields. Each player also selected one of the cryptic alliances and a location to build a fortress. The object of the game was fairly straightforward. Demolish 3 opposing fortresses or everyone else's fortress in a 2 to 3 person game. During the course of the game, each player could attempt to gather pods which could be used to improve a die roll, rebuild a destroyed fortress, and in some cases use a bioborg's special ability. Players also had the opportunity to draw cards to gain additional weapons, shields, and factoids. Each weapon had an attack rating and range. Shields added to defense. Factoid cards could do a wide variety of things, such as freezing an opponent in its tracks or calling in reinforcements. Actions were resolved by rolling a 10-sided die. The bioborg could also travel with 3 different types of support units: infantry, gamma jets, and hover tanks. These units had their own movement rules and aided the Bioborg in combat. The Revenge of the Factoids expansion added 3 new types of support units: Veterans, Transports, and Thundertubes. The comic series. TSR also released comic book series through DC Comics in 1988-89. It did not include any characters from the Revenge of the Factoids expansion set. The series only ran 10 issues and was cancelled near the end of 1989 due to poor sales. The end of issue number 10 included a brief summary of what would have happened had the series continued. Issues number 1, 3, and 4 contained the Gammarauders micro-RPG role-playing game system. The installments included information on how to create handler and Bioborg characters, game mechanics, and equipment. The game used a 6-sided die for resolving actions and rolling up character attributes. Handlers were rated in the following categories: Bot, Control, Style, Science, and Rumble. Each handler also had a complex, or personality quirk that influenced the character's actions. Bioborgs had similar statistics: Bot, Brains, Control, Armament, and Power.